Asibenza sinivusele sinamukele namhla ekseni ngilesibili tisihlanu enyangeni yeLweti ngekubonga umdala isiphindise yanivuselela umhla ekseni sithemba ukuthi niphilile. Thank you for tuning in. This is Kusile Breakfast Show. Kukhumbuta nje ukuthi sikhona na YouTube ungasibukela khona ekhasini lethu le Eswatini TV. Sibonga umdala ukuthi asiphephise kahle kahle sibonga umusa mnguni ukuthi sibone ilanga la namuhla. It's a very good morning. It's a beautiful morning, Tuesday morning. Kunjani umhla ekseni?
Siyavuka Thombensi ngevani.
I'm great.
Listen, so itolo belishisa khokho umkhoveje namhlanje shubisa umkanja endlalela umakhata ngakhona la ngephandle tinkungu diyakhansa. So I think this is an alert to probably someone lotawuphuma nyalo phume ngemotolo ikakhulu kuma highway ngathi letinkungu tinengi kakhulu kuleto tindzawo leto so labatawuphuma nje bachubeta imotolo nyalo ngethemba between the early hours of the morning from now until maybe 8.
Until 8, yeah.
But see, we do hope to have the traffic update that our comprehensive outside of that, indeed, it is a beautiful and blessed morning once again. Sibonga lomtsala wethu nsuku kuvuka nathi nalomhla ekseni. Indzaba lenkulu ke lomhla ekseni sifuna kubuka tekuthengiselana. Our first interview segment therefore will spotlight an exciting international development for Eswatini's export landscape. 5 local businesses, including some other from Shisaroni region, from Bobane, and from the Manzini region, recently participated, or rather represented Eswatini at the Kaohsiung Food Show. It was in Taiwan. And joining us to unpack Bumqoka, bale participation yalethi nkampani leti for umnotho welive lakangwane kuthiwa ngithande kadlamini long manager we export trade at the Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority. We want to explore the opportunities first and foremost, as well as the outcomes of this showcase for Eswatini on the global stage. A very insightful conversation and engaging one we want to have. The very first interview segment, 6:30 this morning. Good morning.
Asike staphinze sibuke indzaba tetempilo lomhla ekseni sifo sashukela kanye nesifo sehypertension tifo letike letiyingoti kakhulu lapha eveni kodwa nje isive samaswati lesilinganiselwa eminyakeni lesuka ku-15 iye ku-69 banesifo sehypertension and almost 1/5 live with diabetes. Kule nyanga nje emave emhlaba lofaka ekhathi live leSwatini atawusebenzisa inyanga yeLweti kwanzisa lwati ngesifo sashukela i-diabetes awareness month. NCD coordinator itiko letempilo Shabang Stabesnaye atasivetela sithombe sesimo sesifo sashukela lapha eveni kanti lokhu kufaka ekhathi nje abantu labaphila naso kwelashwa kwebantu labaphila naso bongoti timphawu kanye nemitamo leyendiwa live kwanzisa lwati. Inhlangano ye-WHO ithi bamvula labashiye emhlabeni ngeminyaka wa-2019 balinganiselwa ku-2 million lokubanga ukuthi ishukela bese ubanga letinye tifo lapha emtimbeni letifaka ekhathi tifo tetinso. Stabesnaye Shabang atasivetela sithombe ukuthi ngabe sesambe kanganani silive kunciphisa ama-cases abantu labathola sifo sashukela. Kumanje sibuke nathi lethama imbili kumaphephandaba. Until later, Times of Eswatini this Tuesday, dialysis equipment worth 23 million amalangeni for RFM sithombelesi lesendeke itolo kamanzini ngesikhathi kwethulwa lemishina. Kanti letinye ithamba imbili 2 suspected facata scam masterminds have been arrested at a lodge. Suspects were found with 2 women at luxurious lodge during raid splashing cash on booze. This marks a major step in dismantling scammers' network and more arrests are expected. In other news, EEC applies for tariff hike and it has been revealed that the taxpayer spends 118 million malangeni on external trips. And a mother elaborates on how she killed and dumped her baby in a pit latrine.
Times of Eswatini sports. The front story in fresh Supreme Court counter application. Wesleyans in bid to stop games. Wanderers also seek interim relief to be fixtured, and that's a matter that is going to be heard today. And possibly, in fact, I trust you will hear the scoop on our news here at Eswatini TV with our journalist Fortune Nlangamandla giving us the latest development there. On another story, Birds Elders question hefty CAF bill. Mbabane Swallows disputed Council of Elders, which is Vice Chairperson Cyprian Gininza, as seen on the left of that graphic, as well as Secretary Enoch Nkosi on the right. The drama is far from over. Another story, bull instability as Ali stands firm. Chief Director Ali Khomongwe of the capital city Giants Highlanders has made a resolute declaration stating that he can only hand over control of the club to its loyal patrons when the time comes. From the international front, Hamilton threatens to quit.
Moving on to the Eswatini Observer, leading headlines: government spends 118 million malangeni in 7 months for trips. Minister of Finance defends trips, saying they are a necessity for government. Shocked MPs say such trips are a drain to the public purse, question if they benefit the country. In other news, a wanted suspect accused of posting murdered lovers' pics. And an update on the Futina Malangeni in school account. Head teacher reveals school is in dire situation.
Eswatini Observer Sports, Birds Elders want financial accountability. Ali must come clean, according to bull patrons. Injured Birds star given recovering. Another story ahead of big game derby, Birds Bull are in crisis. Both Mbabane Giants look not ready for showdown. Struggling Highlanders face equally troubled Swallows. It's going to be interesting. PLE's hands are unclean, and that is a sentiment shared by Wanderers.
Asibuka Eswatini Daily News, Letamba Mbili, King in Seclusion, Bemandi have been commissioned. Anti Letinye, Letihamba Mbili, Minister reports on recurrent spending, 11.6 billion Malangeni annual budget already released. And in other news, Eswatini won't be implementing fuel price changes yet. This is according to the ministry.
Temidlalo Eswatini Daily News. Athletics Club throw punches at ESRC AE clubs feel neglected by the Eswatini Sport and Recreation Council in their battle with the Athletics Eswatini Executive Committee led by President Zakele Dlamini. Another story, coachless bull stars train for Bath's Birds. An interesting showdown ahead on that particular game. Liverpool need better display against Leverkusen, certainly.
Yeah, leto lethamba imbili 8 minutes after 6 stawusa salkhefu sibene tindzaba tekucala.
A show where we interview inspirational young professionals who are making a real impact in their industries and reshaping our world. This is Young Climber.
My dream and my mission is to be a tangible example of a dream realized. You don't choose where you are born, of course, but you decide where you end up.
Our conversations spark ideas, fuel ambition, and elevate your career path. These are the stories that change your perspective on life, conversations that shape entrepreneurs and move careers forward. If you are serious about your career development, you can't afford to miss this show. Join me, Tabelo Dlamini, every Tuesday at 6:30 for Young Climber, where every episode could be your next big breakthrough.
Asibenze sinimukele sikusele nalo sanza kusivulela nathi tindzaba tekucala. Indvuna ilitikile temafa umhlonishwa no-Rakenburg ithi litiko lisebenta imitsetfo lemibili yekuboleka imali letawuvala tikhebese tekweswelakala kwemithi kulungisa kanye nekwakha imigwaco yelive. Indvuna bekhuluma eParliament ngesikhathi yetfula umbiko wekuthi lelitiko lisebenzisa kanjani imali kulesigaba sesibili semnyaka wahulumende.
Emva ukuthi imvuna yethu emafa umhlonishwane Brackenberg etfule esandleni sakhe ngekusebenta kwetimali taleli tiko kulesigaba sesibili seminyaka timali wahulumende wa 2024-2025 emalunga abhekise imibuto endvuneni afaka ekhatsi kurentwa kwetimotolo tetindvuna tembuso nesidzingo sekuhlanyela imali kutempilo nasekwakhiweni kwemigwaco yelive.
Siyathi ke ukuthi silive we have about 400 to 500 kilometers of untarred roads. Kubuta Honorable Minister ukuthi sesinayo yini i-report ukuthi cha sesisakha i-report ukuthi lo mhlaba lo 400 to 500 kilometers wemgwaqo nayi report esesiyakhile kubuka ukuthi stokhona phela ukuthi senetinhlelo ukuthi wonke lo mgwaqo agcine atharishiwe.
Le timoto leti atithengwe phinde bayibhadale difference nabangayibhadali sitawubona tasebenzeka kanjani. Ngiyacela ukuthi ilungiseke lenzaba leyo ngoba ngeke phela ukuthi imoto taphe kunangu kuthengwa sekuphela item yabo ukuthi ahamba imoto etinsha mahala kukhulukwa uhulumende kepha nje kakhulu labo minister ngifuna bayibhadale difference yalomnyaka leti moto batathola funa bayibhadale leyo.
Leli tiko lesihleli nalo la ngipaymaster nguyena lophethe lesiphathi sahulumende. Namhlanje kuyakhalwa sikhala ngemithi la esibhedlela le-substandard. Uyawunatha umuthi lo kumele uthathe 7 days uthathe 14 days ungakusithi indzawo. Kubhadalwe imali letinhle badalele leyo mithi leyo lengawaside emaswati.
Indvuna yethu emafa ibese iniketa timphendvulo temalunga.
So at the moment we are working on two main loan bills for roads. The first one is ADB. ADB is looking at, I think it's 111, 113 kilometers of double surface roads, the higher quality roads, the roads that we are used to building. The circular is very clear. We need to buy Toyota Prados. As I speak, the Prados are busy coming into the country. So unfortunately, it's a large order. If I'm not mistaken, it's 34 of these Prados because it's ministers and RAs and it's 34 vehicles that we need. And you don't just get 34 off the line. They've managed to find the black ones and they now bring them in. They're promising us that by January, end of January, the last ones will come in.
Lokunye lokuvelile endlini ukuthi live lahlekelwa imali lenyenti ngemthelo lobanjelwa tisebenti tigcine tinkampani tingakayifikise enkampanini yahulumende lebutsa umthelo. Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika samkeliswe khoza ngasimuva shongwe eParliamentary.
Umkhankaso welive letinkhundla wekuva imivo ngemthetho losakhankanywa wetinkhundla local government bill uyachubeka. Umsombuluko letiko letinkhundla lihlangene nemalunga etinkhundla esifundza saselubonjeni. Indvuna umhlonishwa sikhumbuzo Dlamini ithi lo mthetho udelekto uniketa tinkhundla emagunya ukuthi titimele ngalokuphelele.
Ngemsombuluko litiko letinkhundla libambisene naletinye tinhlangothi letfaka ekhatsi libandla lelibukete lukhetfo nemingcele yeveni lihlangene nemalunga etinkhundla esifundza saselubonjeni kutobuketa kabanti umthetho losakhankanywa wekumikisa lusito lwahulumende thudane nesive etinkhundleni.
Ngingete konke ngakufaka ngicabanga ukuthi kusele la kanti kumcoka. Niphindze futhi nikhiphe leniva ngathi ngente wasebenta ngoba nine nale experience mbamba vele nisende yakwa etinkhundleni. Nakuthiwa sekuyaformalizwa njengoba lo mthetho nobekuformalize kahle kahle. Nakuthiwa ngiyaformalizwa. Kuformalizwa into lesebentako. Lesenzwa ngini nyalo. Ithulusi ke leli bekunene letanda ukuthi nani nisebenze kalula ngemakhansela etinkhundleni. Ikakhulu ngoba lamuhla lokunenge niyakukhuluma nicoce bese senihlala nje emthandazweni.
Amalunga abe nemibuto ngawo lo mthetho.
Ungeke uthi utawuyimplement noma utawukhuluma thinto utawenda utawusawendele nenzaba yahulumende lo tetimali. Kuvama ukuthi na uthi uwendele ukuthi usiwe kutabanani kunento okuthenjisiwe kodwa ukhanze kusekugitshwa ukuthi noma kukhathwa ukuthi kuthiwe kutetimali.
Uhulumende vele wakwenda yini ukuhlola ukuthi masikhuluma ngenzaba yesitembu sakakhuphuka ngempekezi u-approve siphi ngoba kanza sekunatimbili
uma mhlawumbe leboba letikhulu bekungabakhona ibudget lephose iba faka nabo bativele babete nasidzingo lesingako salethi imali letinkulu tokhanza sinenzanzane sekubika sibitele ithole ifakele enkulu imali ecustom
phakathi wakumafucula takhamuti ethamba about 30 kilometers ngetinyawo ndiyofuna isito enkundleni lesemhlumi lesevulayo akuhambeki.
Lona ke ngumhlangano lotawuthatha emalanga lamabili kude ufike emaphethelweni. Umbiko uhlanganiswe ngithembelihle Magutshwa Hesimunye.
Imvuna yelitiko letinkhundla umhlonishwa Sikhumbuzo Dlamini ithi setikhona tihlobo telive letitawubambisa uhulumende kubuyisa sikhwama sekucedza buphuya kanti nelitiko libuke kubiyela nekuthuthukisa tekuphepha emiphakatsini yelive. Imvuna beyikhuluma eParliamentary ngesikhathi yetfula umbiko ukuthi lelitiko lisebente njani kulesigaba sesibili semnyakatimali wahulumende.
Emsebentini locale ngemsombuluko lochutshwa ngiyo indlaba yesikhulu ukudzingidza ukuthi ematiko ahulumende asebente njani kulesigaba sesibili semnyakatimali wahulumende wa 2024-2025. Imvuna yetiko letinkundla umhlonishwa Sikhumbuzo Dlamini wetfule likomiti lelibuke kusebenta kwalelitiko khona endlini yaba yesikhulu ukuthi lelitiko kulesigaba sesibili semnyakatimali wahulumende wa 2024-2025 lisebente kanjani.
Tinombolo letingaphansi kube-7 emashumi lasikhombisa sihlalo etikhala letivulekile lesinato etikweni kulesinye sikhwama lesinaso etikweni sikhwama sekuthuthukisa tifundza sihlalo se-RDF lapho khona sihlalo sesi-implemente khona ama-projects lang-53 kule kota lebesinikwe yona kulo 53 ama-projects sihlalo imisebenzi lelishumi kube imisebenzi lengafaka imali yamabhizinisi.
Emalunga lahloniphekile ka lelikomiti abesabhekisa wona umbuto kuyo imvuna lehloniphekile yetinkundla acila kakhulu ekutheni kufuna ukuthi masinyane nje libe selibuka kusebenta kwaso sikhwama lesibuke kucedza buphuya eveni.
Sibukile lokuthi size sicishe simiswe nje yini tinkinga letaba khona nekubuka ke ukuthi ingabe tifundvo tini lesingatifunza kuze sitawuchubeka sisebente sichubekele embili sive sitakale
sisavuswa sentiwa nangama-regulation batawamikisa naka-finance bakucabangile yini kokuthi leso sikhwama leso nemphathimango nje umntwana nkosi osemangweni angishiya ifayini aye naye aboleka hayi ukuthi ayithatha ukuthi ngeke ibisele aye aboleke ngoba umuntu naye uyasebenza.
eMaswati ayakhala ngekuthi ayayidzinga imali latayiboleka odvwana nje.
Imvuna yetiko letinkundla umhlonishwa Sikhumbuzo Dlamini ubese uniketa letinye timphendvulo endlini.
Bakhona basibambisile hlobo delive ukuthi siwende lo msebenzi esihlalo but mina bengabelieve ukuthi ngamane kume konke kwahulumende sekwende kube priority kucalwe ngako sihlalo. Ethemini lephelile kuna bahlonishwe bakhona abasolo bafuna imali yabo bangayitholanga fakhazi bobuchopho endvuna yetinkundla. Sekufikile sihlalo and ngicelile etikweni lokuthi akumane bende kube priority bakusebente bababhadala imali yabo ngoba ayisebenze yale mali.
Emalunga kendlini lehloniphekile aphinza acela kuyo imvuna yato tinkundla ukuthi hulumende seka kubuke kuvakashela aphinza ahlole emabhizinisi lasungulwe ngekusekelwa ngiso sikhwama se-Regional Development Fund futhi ke sive siphinze sifundiswe ngako kusebenta kwetinkundla. Edinzabente Eswatini TV kubika Samkelisiwe Khoza nginabongani Masuku nasibuva Shongwe eParliamentary.
iParliamentary icela ukuthi litiko letangephandle ukuthi lilandzelele tivumelwano letisayinwa ngemakhosi nalamanye emave futhi emave afundziswe ngokubuswa kwetinkhundla. Emalunga eParliamentary bekakhuluma ngesikhathi litiko letangephandle letfula umbiko ukuthi lelitiko lisebente njani kulesigaba sesibili semnyakatimali wahulumende.
Emsebentini locale ngemsombuluko ukudzingidza imibiko ekusebenta kwematiko ahulumende wesigaba sesibili semnyakatimali wahulumende wa 2024-2025 losabambe kuba imvuna yetiko letangaphandle endlelana nalamanye emave umhlonishwa Mabulala Maseko wetfule esandvulelo sakhe endlini ukuthi lelitiko lisebente njani asemalunga elikomiti lehloniphekile adzingidza lo mbiko wayo imvuna.
Atsini lama deliberate steps leswathethe njengelive ekufundzisa bona laba bemave nguphi engcenye la sihlele ukuthi nabahlangene umhlaba uhlangene sikhulumisa tindzaba tsite awubakangwane bolitfola lithuba ukuthi nabo baphinze bachaze lokuthi babo bani.
Ngaba njani lokuthi lana kanjwa kuye kulamave ngicabanga futhi nalabo somabhizinisi banato imali bangathi finance kuthi kanjwe nabo basuke la ekhaya sibuke letinto lesinato la ekhaya lesingakhona ukuthi processor to kufika noma ukuthi sethi ngasetshenziswa lamakhaya bahambe nabo bayele emaveni bawufuna the people labangabuya batosebenza nabo lamakhaya.
Kukhulunywa ngekuthi ingwenyama inkosi Mswati wesithathu uyahamba endema MOUs nemavila amaningi. Litiko libese selenda njani ke after lokho? What is being done? What has been done after all those MOUs have been made?
Indvuna ke ichubekile yaniketa Donald imphendvulo endlini.
Lapho khona kunemihlangano khona kusemahlomba lelitiko lokuthi vele likhuluma ngale tinkundla system ungasilo kwelitiko lodwana onke ama ministries nanga bese kusayinela ama MOU lesikwendako siyawathinta lamave ngifuna ukuthi lama ministries lathintekako asengibekise nje kungaba education kungaba bo health kungaba bo natural resources siyawathinta nasekusayinwe lawo ma MOU.
Leli komiti lichubekela phansi sayindvuneni ukuthi linake indzaba enhlala kahle yetisebente emahhovisi lanxusele live laseSwatini kulamanye emave nendzaba yemfundzate yalamanye emave yawo eMaswati. Etindzabeni yeSwatini TV kubika Samkelisiwe Khoza nginabongani Masuku eParliamentary.
Esinye isive sakabhudla kanye nasethulwane sithina naso sike sebelwa imali yabomsolwa emaqaleni kweba imali yeMaswati ngekuthi bathi akafacade imininingwane yawo leyimfihlo etincingweni bese bomsolwa bafinyelela etimalini teMaswati letika mobile money kanye nasemabhukwini abo asebhange. Bomsolwa labanyenti labavele enkantolo kaMantshi kaManzini kulamacala lawa bendzawo yakabhudla kanye nasethulwane. Kuletindzawo leti labomsolwa laba bababita ngabo dlodla. Ngesikhathi lomsakato uvakashele letindzawo letimbili utfole ukuthi labomsolwa bebasolwa bahlala kuto letindzawo kanti futhi labo lese batfole imvumo yokutokela ngephandle enkantolo lenkulu babuyile baphila nabo.
Ngekusho kombiko wamaphoyisa abasengu-34 bomsolwa lababoshelelwa amacala bofacada labangu-17 babo sebavelile embiko enkantolo. Umbiko ukhomba ukuthi labangu-8 babo bendzawo yasethulwane bese kuthi labasithupha babo bendzawo yakabhudla bese kunathuku malenzi lababoshelelwa lamacala lawa bese kuthi nasendzaweni yasesithobela munye bese kusembadlane baba babili. Lesive sendzawo yakabhudla kanye nasethulwane basinanabo bebakathi balahlekelwa imali tabo.
Bathi ke asisuse ngala kule bebasende nangu bekuyini nje inkosi yami bukuyiwaleni bathi asiyisuse ngala siyibuyise ka mobile money bangichafatisa ke ngachafata kwahamba lebela kimi lenganga 1000 rand bekuyi on a Friday nangaphosisa because bathi bajake kuvala bathi bashaya imbabane
bathi kulahlekele ungene 1.5 wabo lacingweni lwami ngacela omunye umfana ngoba ngimdzala ngikwati kubuka kwathi kude imali lelana sengibashayela zange ngiphindze ngibathole.
Ingabe mhlambe uthini nje mhlambe sekuvinza ukuthi uyasho ukuthi akafane umthetho onibukele ukuthi bangaphumi nje emelulu
abahlale khona labanye baneti imoto ngenza bale mali yethu naye lesiyiphiwa ingwenyama ngisho naye lesiyiphiwa inkosi mne bathatha yona.
Lisika lendvuno yakabhudla Daniel Mazibuko lithi labanye balabo bomsolwa bagcine baboshiwe bake babitwe emphakathi basangakaboshwa lapho khona bafike babutwa ngetinsoloto ukuthi athinzeka kula macala labafunelwa wona kodwa bafike bathi cha ababadi lokucala akulobunye indzaba yasethulwane ingephansi kwemphakathi wasemkhuzweni imvuno yasemkhuzweni lokuskuta nkambule ithi labo bomsolwa bayatiwe emphakathi kanti futhi umphakathi uyamangala sibe kathi benda lokucala
bakhona sababita sabakhulumisa bayiphika bathi bona bakwendi bayadi lendzaba leli kodwa lokufika kwadumata ke kuloko ukuthi nyalo bathathwa nyalo bagcine bathathwa vele bakhona phakathi bona nalabanye la besababita thina sabakhulumise ngumphakathi cha vele bahlalala nje ukuthi badakha umuntu bangamane ba recruit labanye labaqhamuka ngaphandle otherwise leli hleli nabo la vele bahlala la
wathini ukuthi bahlalisane kanye lokhu labanye bacele baphuma abanye ngamabhayili noma siyasaloteka unalicala
Banvana laba bantu bethu kulendzawo badalwa ngithi siyabathi singacele siveni ukuthi noma kunje akwakucuka kuba abantu bethu banvana la bebede umonakalo bebede neludlamela abanalo bekubanvana nje lesibejele bafana nebanvana bonke ukhona kona ukuthi emakhaya ahlubulile kodwa akusiko lengingathi ngiko lokudale lokhu
Buchopho kabhudla lokungidumisani Mahlinza uthi lobunyeni balobucala bebukasebenteka ngephasi kwangathi ihlahlanati uvetile ke Mahlinza ukuthi bantu labadzala kanye nesinye isive sakhona kulena ndzawo naso sibe kulesinye lesilimele kakhulu kulobucala bekase buchubeka uvetile ukuthi lenye isizathu esikhulu kungaba ngingoko nakusolokana kwemisebenzi.
Unemployment vele iyasifaka kakhulu sandla ngoba na ubuka lana lokho akwendiwa ngumasaka lokho kwendiwa umuntu ofundzile lo watiwo ukuthi nangabe achafada le nombolo lena itawugcina ifike njani lapho kuwe kude wena ukhona na uthi ufacada le yakho inombolo igcine yena seyikhonile ukuthi inyule le mali lokhu ungasebenzi vele kuyasifaka kodwa sikhuthathi phela ukuthi na ungasebenzi bese soyaganga.
Lokunakekile kulo umsola lapha kusilomncane wabo uneminyaka lengu-18 bese kusilomdzala uneminyaka lengu-48. Idintsabeni kubika Fortune Dlangamandla unathemba Shabangu sikabhudla.
Kutemidlalo umphathi wenhlangano lengamele inhlangano tetemidlalo kuleli Darius Lomo uthi labo labathola ithuba lekumelela live emidlalweni leyahlukene yangephandle bakhombe ukuphakamisa umjaka welive lapho khona abakhona ukubuya nedimendlela. Lomo uthi lokhu kuyinkomba ukuthi sikhona sidingo sokuthi bangasekelwa nasemidlalweni yeminyaka lotako.
Nyakeni losetulo 2024 linyenti letinhlangano tetemidlalo tibonakala timelela kahle live emigqugquzwaneni yangaphandle lokufaka ekhatsi neyesifundza. Le migqugquzwano ifaka ekhatsi imidlalo emadarts lebeyidlalelwa lapha ekhaya, imidlalo yema-Olimpiyadi leyadlalelwa eHungary kanye nasemidlalweni yematubane lokufaka ekhatsi imigqugquzwano wembubo marathon kuleminye. Darius Lomo umphathi wenhlangano lengamele tinhlangano tetemidlalo kuleli uthi bayinhlangano batawuchubeka nekusekela ngalokuphelele tinhlangano letibonakala titfola timendlela emigqugquzwaneni yangaphandle.
Very great year. Excited in terms of fulfillment of our mandate. Utawunaka kutsi what is key in terms of sports performance and what we are driving is that the athletes that we sent out to represent the country, they make the nation proud. Very, very, very proud. And they've done exactly that, quite a number of them. We've had successes in darts. The Darts Association hosted a very successful Region 5 championships where the darts team of the youth got a gold medal there. We've done well in chess, in martial arts, and a lot of other sporting courses that have done well. And we are seeing growth in the performance of one of our marathon runners, Nhlabati, and we are very excited as an organization.
Imidlalo yesifundza yabadlali abancane i-Region 5 Youth Games iminyaka 2024 even laseNamibia lebekubheka ukuthi live liyingenele ngenyanga yeNgongoni liphindze likhona ukuthola ithuba lekuthola timendlela seyachubekiselwa embili eminyakeni wa-2025 ngenyanga yeNkwenkweti khona eNamibia. Ubikela umsakazi Eswatini TV temidlalo ngilinda Dlamini kanti umuntu kuhlanganiswa nguFabrice Msonera eMbabane.
Mengameli wenhlangano yemidlalo yamatubane kuleli zakhele Dlamini uthi lenhlangano ibhekene nenkinga lenkulu lapho khona tingijimita kuleli setehluleka kubamba tikhathi leticelwa yinhlangano leyengamele lomdlalo emhlabeni. Uthi loku ngiko lokubambelela live ukuthi lingakhoni ukuthola timendlela emidlalweni leyahlukene emhlaba.
Because the question is, vele besentani while Sibusiso was there? There's now any plan to develop other athletes. So we are appreciating the support from the government through the Sports Council for this Tingula talent search, because new databases legal athletes that will be upcoming after Lalaba. We have under 20s, we have under 15s. Then it tells us that I'll be honest with you. We just had the World Youth Championships. And as a country, we didn't go. Why? Because we didn't have a young athlete that can go and compete there. It requires education to everyone. Because Lomunya would say, Manoba winning Ibube marathon. So why is he not going for
world champs or Olympics and the like. No. Out there, it's not about winning. We compete against time. He won the Imbube Marathon. He won the Imbube Marathon in 2 hours 34 minutes. Recently, we are coming from a Cape Town Marathon just here. Glen Roscava, a South African lady, won the marathon in 2 hours 22 minutes. Where does it tell you? Or what is it telling you? It tells you that a female athlete from South Africa can outpace our champion, Umame. 222, 234. Qualify world champs now, as we speak, 206. Our champion for Imbube, 234. We are a bit far in terms of decades. So we need more competitions, more training.
Setephetha ngalito temidlalo sidaba hlelthi makethe nasibuya sibe sicocisana nebaka A session esemoselitulo.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusembili.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. You can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 1199004337. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
It's 35 minutes after 6. Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Kusile Breakfast Show. This is the Tuesday edition. We get into our first interview segment now, and we want to, delve into Eswatini's footprint on the global stage. 5 of our local companies recently took part in the Kaesong Food Show in Taiwan. An exciting step forward that is a part of the Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority's ongoing collaboration to promote Eswatini exports. Now, we want to talk to Thandeka Dlamini, who is the Manager of Export Trade at EPA, as well as Kusile Mhlanga from Emma Vaneni Farms. Thandeka, Kusile, thank you so much for joining us on the program. An exciting program. When we speak about trade, we speak about something that is pretty much at the forefront of every conversation when we speak about development in Eswatini. Perhaps, Thandeka, if I could begin with you. Share with us why APA, prioritizes facilitating this kind of participation of local businesses in, trade shows like this one from Taiwan.
Thank you. Sinvusele maswati lamahle ekuseni. Singu Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority sinikwe umsebenzi lomkhulu nguhulumende weMaswati ngokuthi sithuthukise inthengo yeMaswati leya ngaphandle kwaleli. Sikhuluma ngemkhicito lokhicitwa aMaswati emabhizinisi eMaswati lamancane lamakhulu nala semkhathini. Lo msebenzi lona ke part of government efforts ngokuthi si access international markets ezisati ke eMaswati ngokuthi imarket yakangwane yincane. We are about 1.2 million people, and the world out there is a market of about 8 billion people. So we are saying as APA ngokuthi akukhule umkhicito weMaswati lo sengiswa ngaphandle akukhule amabhizinisi akandlondlobale because imarket ikhona bantu bakhona ngephandle labatawuthenga tinfo teMaswati.
Yeah. You are a local business. Nang APA unibambe ngesandla wa crossa nani wahamba nani emoyeni nafika Taiwan. How important was this for your business, particularly for for trade? Nasibuka dona ndzaba tekuthengiselana njengoba ayiveta indzaba yokuthi nangemambala babambisene nahulumende ingcikithi yakho ngiloku naloku inombolo yabo somabhizinisi tekuthengiselana lelizinga alikho la lesifuna khona kodwa nanginetinhlelo letifana nalete engabe nini le experience yenu ibe ngilenjani itanisita kanjani?
Okay, siyavusela Maswati namhle kuseni. I-experience yethu ye Taiwan ibe ngilenhle kakhulu. Kusisitile kwasivula emehlo emathubeni la khona le Taiwan. Sifike sakhanza le phambili kwekuthi eTaiwan nje ngidawubekisa ngayo ngoba ngiyona besikiyo. Live lapho tinvo letiningi takhona ti highly processed. Seva ukuthi bafise nyalo kukhwesha kuloko. Basale benda tinvo leti fresh. Kwasijabulisa ke thina lebesile ukuthi kushothi kutasiniketa thina eMaswati lelithuba lekubaniketa letinvo leti fresh ngoba nje thina nje for example siyalima eMaswati ayasebenta muhle umsebenzi weMaswati nequality isetulu. So ke kusivulile emehlo ukuthi kuloku lesikwendako sibaSwati asibancanyana nathi sesiyakhona kufika kuleli zinga lelikhona internationally. Nekuthi futhi kusitile kubona lokwekuthi labanye bendani nekusiniketa lithuba lokuthi uyakhona ukukopa lokuhle ubutikale nawe ukuthi ngikuleli zinga leli. So ke kube yi-experience lenhle kakhulu nekusiniketa lithuba lekhona ukukhulumisana nabo somabhizinisi basilamanye emave lamakhulu kunala wethu.
Yeah. I want to understand lesithombe sayo le food show. Sibuya trade fairs lapha ekhaya nikhuluma nge Kaesong Food Show. In my head it speaks to culinary. Ngiphe lesithombe ukuthi umsebenzi oba kanjani lona?
Okay. I-Kaohsiung Food Show, as usho ubuya International Trade Fair, which layethu is overall. Wonke muntu uyeta ato exhibitor. The Kaohsiung Food Show nayo event lecishe finale yethu lokusho ukuthi banjwa mnyaka yonke nje. I-showcase ke yona ilisho leligama food show. I-showcase ibukisa kudla netinatfo.
Okay.
So ifocasa kuloko kuphela ezisati ke eMaswati enda kudla netinatfo letiningi so besithethe nje eMaswati lenda kudla netinatfo na kukuta tinkampani ke letiningi kule food show kuta emave nalamaningi ivuleleke ukuthi kute onke emave so nathi ke besi part of lama countries beka exhibitor lapha with our companies of course from the kingdom and essentially sizama ku showcase lokudla naletinatfo with the hopes of kuthola ema buyers for ema products eMaswati so bese sesiyaqhubeka siya export to Taiwan. Thank you.
Utsinze indzaba ye ethical food and sustainability ngifuna ukubeka kanjalo na ukhuluma indzaba yokuthi bekunekudla loku processed lenikuthathako ke lena ukuthi inyalo kufuna sibuye ekhaya siphe sive seMaswati kudla loku fresh sinenhlanhla we have the arable land kulima is part of our culture but you know there are some barriers la sesekhona. I know EPA bekayithinza indzaba yabo trade finance ekuthenini nayo ayibuketwe kude but awukhona ukuthi bathwele leto mali bamithe some of these standards laba khona when they make I know trade agreements with developed economies. I suppose the question then becomes ngumaphi lama sectors lesithi nje nasibuka kulama businesses lesinawo thandeka lapha ekhaya sinayo agriculture we have other sectors lesingasho ukuthi angazuza kakhulu ehlelweni elifana lolo.
SiMaswati si with Taiwan specifically sisayine hulumende weMaswati usayine i-agreement noma imvumelwano ke nelive lase Taiwan kokuthi kube nema products leswayisako sibe ne competitive advantage nakafika eTaiwan. So what happens is that Eswatini products angena eTaiwan 199 products from Eswatini angena eTaiwan at reduced import duty rate which means nasesithengisa lenthengo yekugcina iba incane kunema competitors kumbe so that way we are able to have a competitive advantage export competitive advantage in Taiwan and in other countries as well maningi ema agreements lesinawo so lama 199 products nje include your agricultural products include your agro-processed products. We're talking manufacturing as well, other aspects of manufacturing. So, ngingasho kokuthi maybe agricultural sector, agro-processing and manufacturing sector is the main products that included kule yase Taiwan specifically. Food ingena under agricultural and agro-processed, especially the beverage part, say processed. So yes, kuvulekile eTaiwan. So kungabenefita kakhulu eMaswati la kule business leyo. Sicela vele ukuthi sithathe iadvantage yale opportunity lengaka le presentwe live la kangwane nelemashayeni.
Yeah, ngiyacabanga ngoba ngeke ngeva nje ngibukela some documentary about food and beverages particularly in you know overseas but teka indzaba ukuthi umoba has this substrate that is very essential in beverages lakhiwako ngiyabuka ke la kangwane ukuthi ishukela sinalo ngakanani and besiteka yona indzaba ye value chain kuwo lo shukela ukuthi akungabi ngilo shukela kuphela we can make a lot with the molasses and everything leba khona lapha engcenye we can fully leverage lenzaba lena kulama beverages ngiyafuna ukuva gcinile ukuthi engabe EPA asanibambisa kuloku yini ke longafisa ukutshela labanye bosomabhizinisi ekuthenini engabe bona bangenda njani ekuthenini nabo babe export ready bangamabhizinisi
bangemabhizinisi kwekucala nje kufuna sikufaka emcondweni ukuthi nawu yenda indlu noma ungativa ungathi usasemncane ukwende kube sezingeni lelisetulu kufuna ngicanga ukuthi eMaswati siphume emcondweni wekuthi ngendela kangwane nje ngoba seMaswati equality sesiyayadi bona labo mawubona ukuthi bayasitha sibe expose so ke kwekucala nje ukuthi wende sure ukuthi quality yalo lokwendako iseqophelweni leliseduni etikwaloko futhi usebenzise letinhlangano le hulumende ladibekile ukuthi dithuthukise eMaswati. So ke ngiyabekisa ukuthi utihluphe ukuthi nangabe ngiyalima ngiyabekisa yini certificate sini le ngitasidinga ukuthi ngikhona ekhambisa le maveni ungathi solungise konke solimile ukhanze ukuthi awusakhona ekhambisa ngiyabekisa kunabo global gap wati lama certification ladzingekako. Over and above that ube nelplan lekwekuthi nangabe le mavens bathi bayawufuna lo mkhicito ngidawukwenta kanjani ngidawukhulisa kanjani lo mkhicito wami. So ngingasho ukuthi cishe ngilo 13 voleti for leti camako nje kimi ukuthi nawufuna kuba export ready number 1 yenda kube quality kube seqophelweni lesetulu nalendlela lo kupakisha ngako sithenga ngeliso sibantu yenda siciniseke ukuthi nalapho le packaging yakho ayibe ngilenhle ayibe ngilelikhanga kwelicustomer ngikona noma ngabe ungabanga kuphi nje emhlabeni bantu bavele bayibone bayithanze lendvolo yendako.
Kusile utsinza indzaba lenkhulu siyathi kusiningi APA nihlale ni gcizelela indzaba ye compliance nema compliance with international standards so to speak ukuthi konke akuphese ezingeni noma ngangisomabhizinisi lomncane noba ungilomkhulu. What are some of these standards? Lesingasho ukuthi vele bosomabhizinisi bakangwane kufuna bawameet lesenwabonile as the export trade department ka APA ukuthi ngamambala these are the gaps lesalela kuwo emuva.
Yes, lesikhanze kuba i-challenge kakhulu. Kuthi nangabe as much as exposure tinkampane out there, they need these standards to actually get their product into that market. So lesikhanze kuyi-challenge ke kuthi emabhizinisi ayaye aplane kokuthi ayenda nje and then athengisa nje la kangwane. Yeah, to just make a living. Kani thina lesik encourage ako kuthi vele na ucale nale noma ngabe socalile have that export driven or export oriented market strategy to say une plani yekuthwala ama standards because adulile vele and uyadzinga lokuthi uhlanganisele nalabanye sometimes you go via associations uze uthole lama certifications leyo lama certifications lango so maningi kakhulu ama certifications are related to ama international certifications as well as ama national certifications ale market lo yakiyo. For instance angithi eTaiwan nje kune sishayina lekufuna ulabelishe ngalo for instance noma ngabe sositholile certificate sakho ufuna le labeling yakho kule product ibe ngesishayina so kunetinfo letifana naleti but ke sing APA siyayi provider le training to businesses asibiti nje amabhizinisi lesithi seka ready vele sifuna emabhizinisi to get ready. So sifuna emabhizinisi lafuna kuba ready. As well as those who are ready, of course, we provide support. But siyawa invite vele emabhizinisi incumbi nalanko nje la interested kokuthi participate. Si holder ema trainings again like export readiness training program lesinayo lapho khona sisita wonke nje lo interested kokuthi atokuva because kunetinfo tabo marketing latitsintsako nalama standards lo atsintsako tonke letingoni leto siyatitsintsaka kunema issues abo capacity volumes you need to have the volumes to export kunetinfo tabo ema trading terms international trading terms lekufuna uwadi so kufuna siyakubita vele sikufunzise kuto tonke letingoni leto.
I love the fact that you mentioned something that she also highlighted and something that is very key, the keenness of the companies themselves to want to be export ready. These local small businesses should also be forthcoming by utilizing these export support programs that you guys provide. But some of these barriers, and I'm happy, I did mention earlier, you guys have also acknowledged them, and I know that you are addressing them. And I suppose, since you're already here, ngiyafuna singene kwendzaba ye trade finance, because I did make a few notes. I think this was 15 March 2024. That event that you had, you premised by saying trade is the lifeblood of an economy. I think loko kwasipha lomcombo ukuthi vele without lifeblood you cannot even live. We definitely and urgently need trade now more than ever. But nabesenvet indzaba yekuthi i-World Trade Organization itsinze i-global trade merchandise yaveta ukuthi beyik 22 trillion US dollars. But if there was access to finance, it could have been way more, and you know it is not where it's supposed to be lapha eveni lakangwane, particularly indzaba yokuthi Africa contributor only 8% kulo 22 trillion. So yabona ukuthi sidlala inzima lencane kwani. Indzaba leseni address nafika phi le trade finance bosomabhizinisi batawukhona invele ku access lama funds lawo.
Thank you for lo mbuto loyo. Sing APA vele indzaba lesisolo siyisebenta le trade finance because as is shito without volumes and to produce volumes. Without volumes, you cannot supply your market because inkulu le market lengaphandle. Without volumes now, you cannot supply that market. The volumes need for you to grow, right? So you need the finance to finance that growth. So we have been advocating isebenta kakhulu ke sing APA asebenti sodwa. Sisebenta kakhulu ke netingoni letiningi tahulumende kuze sibuke kokuthi ngabe yini ema trade finance instruments lesingawakha eveni you know so siyakhuluma vele nema institution either the institutions that are in charge of the financial sector to say what instruments can we come up with lata usita ema traders ethu, the small ones as well, because even if you are small you can export. That's the thing. The thing is it's about how much you then supply. Inkulu market. So kufuna inkulu kakhulu ukuthi ungayisupply from a smaller, like you are saying, a World Trade Organization, it's ngakhulu if there was trade finance. So as much as umncane exporter, we need you to grow also in the export. So we are trying to talk to other institutions ahulumende sibuke kokuthi nema financial lalabuki financial sector to see what financial instruments we can have in place to provide trade specific finance.
I want to come back to you, Gciniwe, as someone operating as a business, particularly facing some of these barriers and trade finance being one of them. Do you see that aspect improving? Of course, you can acknowledge what APA has been doing in facilitating, you know, even commercial banks to have those instruments. That makes sense for you guys as, you know, traders or potential traders, because what they highlighted in March is that kunalama production costs, kubenema shipping costs and trade-related expenditures. They also spoke to, you know, an example that, you know, even for a layman, it's easy to grasp the concept of trade finance and why it's so, you know, important. But if, say for you, with your business, you were to get an offer to supply Taiwan, let's use Taiwan because in Buyakona, with 50,000 apples, right, a month, but you do sort of, you know, have the capacity or the means to do it, but not necessarily the money to then finance the whole machine, be sustainable. That deal is done. You know, do you see the commercial banks or other instruments being created to make sure if you get these deals, you can be confident to say, you know what, let's try, let's do it?
Definitely. Ema financial institutions nange kubambisana na hulumende sibonile lokuthi bayawenda ama road shows, bayetama lokuthi buyani Maswati, bayatama nalokusifundisa ngale ku-manager ema business ethu. So sekukhona in place, kodwa ke ngiphinze ngikholelwe ukuthi we still have a way to go. I think nalama financial institutions singacela njena kuwo lokuthi akasethembe siMaswati, angeke siwajabhise kulokunye encenye siyaya bakufune konke usubmit tonke tinvo, but ukhanze ukuthi encenye sekufuneka lokunye sekufuneka lokunye. So dona tikhona leti inhlelo siyabonga kakhulu, diyawenda lo mehluko. Godwa sisa, there's definitely room for improvement and believing. I think just sisive kufuna sike lapho nema financial institution nathi sisive sibambisane and believe in each other, because that's where our strength will come. Sikhone lokuthi nathi sifike sigcame emaveni.
Okay. Maybe as a parting shot, Thandeka, we may want to detour from this particular, show from Taiwan. Sihlebele nje ukuthi engabe ngumaphi lamanye programs that local businesses can look forward to when it comes to export readiness, or let's say regional integration and trade agreements. We do see, what government has been doing in pushing the AfCFTA. We know that you guys are, an important partner in pushing these trade agreements, as well as some of the infrastructure that is also being, bolstered to make sure ukuthi bakhona sisaqhubeka ku leverage all these trade agreements.
Yes, at APA, we are on the verge of course, our export readiness program is there. Please be on the lookout for that. We'll post it on our social media pages.
Okay.
Logo. We also have a number of international trade shows because we believe Butikfunas expose my business to the world out there. Sometimes it's better you are there and you tell your story. So we have international trade shows to a number of countries. Sitawi and Japan Expo, World Expo next year. Lapho khona invited inkampani ukuthi ti apply to participate in this bio showcase abasinike ama products abo so showcase ku live lonke. So we have the Taipei food Taipei as well, nakhona kudla lapho bo dictionary ikhona ne handicraft nema designers lapho sinema shows nje lamaningi ka APA lesiwa attenda ko sibukena lamanye lase Africa kuthi ngabe singa participate kanjani. So tonke letinfo leto they are ongoing, and please be on the lookout in the coming year, especially for those initiatives. Also, just to add on that, we will also be publishing some market insights. Sitotshengisa kokuthi lama market because it's in a siyawati lama market out there sinalolo lwati. So sesita publish again market insights, market intelligence insights to say this is where the potential is specific to products ubutenge ma sector nje. So sisho ukuthi nanka lama products le market potential le kule level based on analysis. Yes, so we'll be publishing those. Please, you are welcome to also come to ask at APA to inquire, and also please be on the lookout on our social media pages.
Right, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Thandeka Dlamini, Manager Export Trade under the Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority, as well as Kusile Mavaneni Farms, part of the exhibitors who were fortunate enough for an opportunity to go out there in Taiwan for this food show. Asibahlule market stop we asiqhubeka nehlelo masinyane traffic update.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m, where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Imizuzu nje lemithathu kuphela ukuthi kubumbane insimbi yesikhombisa ngalo muhla siphinde sikuvusele lo mhla ekseni kulesikhathi labachubat motolo nalabatawuhamba emigwaqweni, whether pedestrians or motorists, batawukhona kenyalo ukuthi bafundiseke ukuthi lo mhla kufuna bende njani. Sithola i-traffic update lo mhla ekseni. Ngabe simo emgwaqweni lamhla uma nisipopolela sime kanjani? Sotlamahle setama kuchumana nemaphoyisa embubene sive labukela uhlangothi lwete emgwaqo kusipopolela ukuthi ngabe tikhona inti hibe noma ke titsikabeto lekufuna ukuthi sidicaphele lo mhla ekseni sihamba emigwaqweni. Kodwa nje lesingakukhumbuta ukuthi sitibonile tinkhungu thina lezivuka ke kusesenombonombo tikhansa ikakhulu kuma highway sicela ke labaqhuba imoto lokuthi baqaphele lapho babeketelene abantu besikole, particularly labavuka ekseni kakhulu bahambe bawenda exams. Kube nje i-patience nekubeketelelana emigwaqweni, si avoid tingoti temgwaqo. Ngale kwaloko asadle ukuthi ke kukhona lokunye la si ingakuthola as an update kuba tsikabete emigwaqweni. Okay, we are being advised ukuthi sibahlole emarket sitabuya masinyane sichubene nehlelo.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusemndeni.
Ujala masoda mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu
sivile sive sithi khulumeni.
Welcome back to the program. This is the news at 7. The Honourable Minister of Finance, Neil Reichenberg, says government has 2 loan bills on the pipeline that are specifically for the shortages of drugs as well as road infrastructure. The Honourable Minister was speaking during the debate of the ministry's second quarter performance report for the year 2024-2025.
Following a preamble by the Honourable Minister of Finance, Neil Reichenberg, on the performance of the ministry during the second quarter of the 2024-2025 financial year, Finance Portfolio Committee debated the report.
We have about 400 to 500 kilometers of untarred roads. Kubuta, Honourable Minister, sesinayo ini report ukuthi cha sesi saka report ukuthi lo mhlaba lo 400 to 500 kilometers wemgwaqo na report esesiyakhile kubuka ukuthi stokhona phela ukuthi senetinhlelo ukuthi wonke lo mgwaqo agcine atharishiwe.
Le timoto leti atithengwe phinde bayibhadala difference nabangayibhadali sitawubona tasebenzeka kanjani. Ngiyacela ukuthi ilungiseke lenzaba leyo ngoba ngeke phela ukuthi imoto taphe kunangu kuthengwa sekuphela item yabo lokuthatha hamba imoto etinsha mahala kukhulukwa uhulumende. Kepha nje kakhulu labo minister ngifuna bayibhadale difference yalomnyaka leti moto batathola. Ngifuna bayibhadale leyo.
Leli tiko lesihleli nalo la ngipaymaster. Nguyena lophethe lesipathi sahulumende. Namhlanje kuyakhalwa sikhala ngemithi la esibhedlela le substandard. Uyawunatha umuthi lo kumele uthathe 7 days, uthathe 14 days. Ungakusithi indzawo. Kubhadalwe imali letinhle adalele leyo mithi leyo lengawaside eMaswati.
The Honourable Minister of Finance responded to the debate.
So at the moment we are working on 2 main loan bills for roads. The first one is ADB. ADB is looking at, I think it's 111, 113 kilometers of double surface roads, the higher quality roads, the roads that we are used to building. The circular is very clear. We need to buy Toyota Prados. As I speak, the Prados are busy coming into the country. So unfortunately, it's a large order. If I'm not mistaken, it's 34 of these Prados because it's ministers and RAs and it's 34 vehicles that we need. And you don't just get 34 off the line. They've managed to find the black ones and they now bring them in. They're promising us that by January, end of January, the last ones will come in.
The Minister of Finance also informed the Honourable Committee that government is losing a lot of money due to VAT tax evasion by companies. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kusile with Muva Shongwe, Parliament.
The Ministry of Tinkhundla, in collaboration with other stakeholders, have met with Tinkhundla Council from the Lubombo region at Simunye. The purpose of the meeting was to get their views on the proposed Tinkhundla local government bill.
The Minister for Tinkhundla, Sikhumbuzo Dlamini, says the proposed decentralization draft bill for Tinkhundla local government aims to improve service delivery.
Ningete kokeni ngakufaka ngicabanga ukuthi kusele la kanti kumcoka niphindze futhi nikhiphe leniva ngathi ngeke wasebenza ngoba nale experience mbamba vele nisende yakwayo Tinkhundleni nakuthiwa sekuyaformalizwa njengoba lo mthethwana bekuformalize kahle kahle nakuthiwa kuyaformalizwa kuformalizwa into lesebentako lesiyenzwa nginyalo ithulusi ke leli bekunene letanda ukuthi nani nisebenze kalula ngemakhanselas eTinkhundleni ikakhulu ngoba lamuhla lokunenge ngiyakukhuluma nicoce bese senihlala nje emthandazweni.
Members of different constituencies raised their concerns pertaining the draft bill.
Ungeke uthi utawu implement noma kutawukhuluma thinto uthi utawenda utawusawendele nenzaba ya uhulumende lo detimali. Kuvama ukuthi na uthi uwende lo ukuthi kuthiwe kutabanani kunento okuthenjisiwe kodwa ukhanze kusekugitshwa ukuthi noma kukhathwa ukuthi kuthiwe kudetimali.
Uhulumende vele wakwenda yini ukuhlola ukuthi masikhuluma ngendzaba yesitembu sakakhuphuka ngempekisi u-approve siphi ngoba ukanze sekunatibhili.
Uma mhlawumbe leboba betikhulu bekungaba khona ibudget lephose iba faka nabo bativele babete nasidingo lesingako salethi imali letinkulu tokhanza sinenzanzane sekubita sibitele ithole ifakele enkulu imali etrustem
phakathi wakumafucula takhamuti ethamba about 30 kilometers ngetinyawo ndiyofasito enkundleni lesemhlumi lesevulala akuhambeki.
Reporting, I am Tembelihle Maguchwa at Simunye.
The Honourable Minister of Tinkhundla, Sikhumbuzo Dlamini, says government has secured a development partner for the re-establishment of the Poverty Reduction Fund, as well as government is also set to improve security for chiefdoms. The Honourable Minister was speaking during the debate of the Ministry's second quarter performance report for the 2024-2025 financial year.
The Honourable Minister of Tinkhundla Administration and Development, Sikhumbuzo Dlamini, delivered his preamble before the Ministry's Portfolio Committee at the House of Assembly on the performance of the Ministry during the second quarter of the 2024-2025 financial year.
Tinombolo tingaphosi kube ngu7 emashumi lasikhombisa sihlalo etikhala letivulekile lesinato etikweni kulesinye sikhwama lesinazo etikweni sikhwama sekuthuthukisa tifundza sihlalo se-RDF lapho khona sihlalo sesi-implemente khona ama-projects lang 53 kule kota lebesinikwe yona kulo 53 ama-projects sihlalo imisebenzi lelishumi kube imisebenzi lengafaka imali yamabhizinisi.
The Honourable Committee debated the Minister's report.
Sibukile ukuthi size sicishe simiswe nje yini tinkinga letaba khona nekubuka ke ukuthi ngabe tifundvo tini lesingatifunza kuze sitawuchubeka sisebente sichubekele embili sive sitakale
sisavuswa sentiwa nangama regulation batawamikisa naka finance bakuqabangile yini kokuthi leso sikhwama leso nemphathi mango nje umntwana ngosemango nangishifa yini aye naye aboleka hayi ukuthi ayithatha ukuthi ngeke ibisele aye aboleka ngoba umuntu naye uyasebenza.
eMaswati ayakhala ngokuthi ayayidzinga imali
The Honourable Minister of Tinkhundla responded to the debate.
Bakhona basibambisile hlobo delive ukuthi siwende lo msebenzi isihlalo but mina bengabelieve ukuthi ngamane kume konke kwahulumende sekwene kube priority kucalwe ngako sihlalo ethemini lephelile kuna bahlonishwe bakhona abasola bafuna imali yabo bangayitholanga fakhazi bobucupho endva eTinkhundla sekufikile sihlalo and ngicelile etikweni lokuthi akumane bende kube priority bakusebende bababhadala imali yabo ngoba ayisebende yale mali.
The Honourable Committee also submitted that there is a need for a monitoring exercise of projects supported by the Regional Development Fund. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kusile with Bongan Masugu and Smuva Shongwe. Parliament.
The House of Assembly says government needs to follow up on the implementation of international agreements that are signed by the Kingdom of Eswatini through their Majesties. Members of Parliament were speaking during the debate of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs second quarter performance report for the 2024-2025 financial year.
Following a preamble by the Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mabulala Masego, on how the ministry performed during the second quarter of the 2024-2025 financial year, the Honourable Committee debated the report.
Atsini lama deliberate steps leswathethe njengelive ekufundzisa bona laba bemave nguphi engcenye la sihlele ukuthi nabahlangene umhlaba uhlangene sikhulumisa tindzaba tsite awubakangwane bolitfola litfuba ukuthi nabo baphindze bachaze lokuthi babo bani
ngaba njani lokuthi lana kanjwa kuye kulamave ngicabanga futhi nalabo somabhizinisi banalo imali bangathi finance kuthi kanjwe nabo basuka la ekhaya sibuke letinto lesinato la ekhaya lesingakhona ukuthi processor to kufika noma ukuthi setingasetshenziswa lamakhaya bahambe nabo bayele emaveni bawufuna the people labangabuya batosebenza nabo lamakhaya
kukhulunywa ngekuthi ingwenyama inkosi Mswati wesithathu uyahamba endema MOUs nemavila amaningi litiko libese selenda njani ke after lokho what is being done, what has been done after all those MOUs have been made?
The Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs responded to the debate.
Lapho khona kunemihlangano khona kusemahlomba lelitiko lokuthi vele likhuluma ngale tinkundla system ungasilo kwelitiko lodwana onke ama ministries nangabe sokusayinela ama MOU lesikwendako siyawathinta lamave ngifuna ukuthi lama ministries lathintekako asengibekise nje ngaba education ngaba bo health ngaba bo natural resources siyawathinta nasekusayinwe lawo ma MOU.
The Foreign Affairs Portfolio Committee, amongst other matters, asked the ministry to look into the welfare of Emaswati who are working at local embassies. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza with Bongan Masugu, Parliament.
Nedbank has launched the Pocket POS meant to bring cheaper payment solutions for small and medium enterprises in the country. Now, this product was launched by the bank's managing director, Kusile Ngosi, during a press briefing at the bank's headquarters in Bobane, where she stated that owning the gadget costs about 500 emalangeni.
It is those entrepreneurs who can easily change their way of thinking and adopt new approaches to dealing with these business challenges and their customers, and that are managing to survive and grow their enterprises. As a bank, we are delighted to offer our support to small businesses through bringing banking solutions that offer that much needed agility, convenience, and more importantly, cash security for small businesses. These solutions are ideal for businesses such as informal traders, like our market vendors, beauty salons, public transport operators, and delivery businesses, to mention just a few. The two products are also perfect for the sole traders who are doing side hustles, as their customers will no longer be forced to carry cash around, and they are ideal for those spur-of-the-moment cases where a customer does not have actual cash with them, but wants to purchase whatever product or service being offered at that point in time. They can easily tap with their bank card on the device, on the SME mobile phone as well. And the cherry on top is that these products or these solutions are available not only to SMEs with Nedbank accounts, but also to non-Nedbank SMEs.
The governor of the Central Bank of Eswatini, Dr. Philip Nisi, has detailed the resolutions of discussions of the International Monetary Fund meeting, which was held in the United States of America a week ago. Speaking during a press briefing last week, the governor said Eswatini stands to benefit, especially on the reduction of the supercharged service fees.
The governor says some of the resolutions from the International Monetary Fund annual meetings was the reduction of the surcharge service fees, which have been causing a major outcry from different countries. He says the savings from these surcharge fees can be used as buffers or for other projects for those countries. He continues to say that whatever line of credit that Eswatini had along these lines will benefit.
Begune what they call a surcharge kusho ukuthi ngale magama uma uboleke imali ku IMF bekuba nema service fees bekuba nema charges lamakhulu bekuthola kunesikhala ukuthi awu lama charges lawa makhulu abanga lesikwelede sisekhame. IMF ithathe ipolicy ukuthi iwahlise lawa ma surcharges lawo lekusho ukuthi ke lamave laboleke imali ku IMF atawukhona kuphefumula asangayisebenzisa leyo mali leyo as buffers noma aphinze ende lamanye ama projects kulawo mave lawo so livela kangwane whatever line of credit lesinayo lefolisha kuleyo category leyo itawu benefit bese sekuba khona nalelinye indlela yekuboleka ku IMF liyendeka ukuthi kube lula ku-access imali ikakhulu uma utayisebenzisa kudilisha naletinto tehlakalo bo climate change ku-dry kwemadamu nathi tangcotho lesitibonako letendeka ngelilanga linye leto timali leto so ungakhona usheshe ungene fastelweni la ka-IMF uthi thole masishane ngale magama i-IMF yenta ukuthi nyalo lama member states akhone kuyi-accessa nathi ke as one of the 191 members siya benefita kuloko.
Dr. Mnisi says that now Africa has a third chair in the International Monetary Fund Board. He continues to say this will give the continent more representation. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Babane.
Some residents from Tulwane say they have also fallen victim to Fakata scams. Most of the alleged Fakata scammers are from these two areas, while the nation refers to them as alleged Fakata scammers. They are known locally as Bodlola. Some of the alleged scammers who were granted bail by the High Court have now returned to these areas.
According to police reports, 34 alleged Fakata scammers have been arrested, with 17 of them having appeared in court. Among these arrested, 8 suspects from Tulwane have appeared in court, along with 6 from Kapudla, 2 from Malinza, 2 from Badlan, and 1 from Stobelweni. Residents of Kapudla in Tulwane reported that they were not spared from the scams, despite many of the suspects being from their areas. Victims speaking on condition of anonymity shared that they lost significant amounts of money. One victim explained that the scammers sent him a fake e-wallet, instructed him to send money, and he ended up transferring money from his mobile wallet. An elderly woman claimed that the alleged scammers took her elderly grant, urging that they should not be released on bail. Meanwhile, Assistant Indvuna from Kapudla Chiefdom stated that prior to the arrest, the alleged scammers were summoned but flatly denied any involvement in the crimes.
Sabakhulumisa bayiphika bathi bona bakwendi bayadi lendzaba leli kodwa lokufika kwadumata ke kulo ukuthi nyalo bathathwa nyalo bagcine bathathwa vele.
On the other hand, Indvuna from Kusile Skuta Mgambule pleaded with residents to live in peace with the alleged scammers despite the accusation, reminding them that the suspects remain members of the community. Tumsan Mahlinza Bukopo from Kapudla remarked that unemployment might have driven the youth to commit the alleged crimes. He added that even elderly people in the area have fallen victim to the scams. According to reports, the youngest alleged scammer is 18 years old, while the eldest is 48. Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Kapudla.
Shifting focus now to international news, Israeli airstrikes killed at least 10 Palestinians in Gaza, with 7 dead in an attack on 2 houses in the North Gaza town of Beit Lahia and 3 fatalities in a strike on a house in New Ziret camp in the enclave center. Medics told Reuters, and Israel deployed tanks into Jabalia, Beit Hanun and Beit Lahia on October 5, 2024, saying it intended to prevent Hamas from regrouping.
As they mourn their loved ones killed in an Israeli strike on Khan Yunis, these Palestinians are inconsolable.
The children were playing in front of the tent's entrance. They don't have a house. They lost their home. They were playing when a rocket hit them and cut them into pieces. What did they do for this to happen to them?
We were going to the place where we pray in, and we saw the first rocket falling, killing between 8 or 9 people. There were no resistors or armed men or anything else.
Further north, medics reported that more than a dozen Palestinians were killed on Sunday in strikes on Beit Lahia as well as the Jabalia area. It's here that the Israeli army has been pressing ahead with a major ground and air assault since early October, saying it aims to prevent Hamas militants from regrouping. The fighting is taking a heavy toll on civilians. Last week, UNICEF stated that more than 50 children were killed in Jabalia refugee camp in the space of 2 days. Across the enclave, the humanitarian situation is growing increasingly dire.
The most basic thing in our children's livelihood is flour to prepare bread and feed them. It is not available, or when it is very, very little. We have no flour or the basic materials, oil, sugar, tea, the things we depend on.
According to Gaza's health ministry, more than 43,000 Palestinians have been killed since the conflict broke out.
Gaza hostages group urges probe after ex-aide to Israeli PM Netanyahu allegedly leaked confidential documents, potentially hindering hostage release efforts. Now, ex-aide Elizia Philstein and 3 others were detained on Sunday, sparking opposition calls for Netanyahu's accountability, which his office denies.
Details of the alleged leaked and falsified documents have been trickling out slowly because of a court gag order. But Israel's Hostages and Families Forum is determined to get to the bottom of it, concerned by the court's report that it could have hurt efforts to release their relatives.
We're fighting for almost 400 days. We want to know that the people that make decisions do it as well, that are doing the right thing.
First priority of the court should be to remove any hurdles so that the families can get the real situation, the real information.
On Sunday, an Israeli court partially lifted the gag order, announcing that Eli Feldstein, a spokesperson for the office of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, had been detained along with at least 3 others for allegedly leaking classified documents to foreign newspapers. Netanyahu said in a statement that he was only made aware of the affair by the media and denied any wrongdoing by his office staffers. His opponents say they don't believe him.
This affair originated in the Prime Minister's office, and the investigation needs to determine whether or not it was under the Prime Minister's orders. If Netanyahu knew, he is complicit in one of the most serious security breaches on record. If Netanyahu did not know, then what does he know?
The documents are said to have formed the basis of articles in 2 European media outlets in early September that were consistent with Netanyahu's allegations against Hamas over the impasse in ceasefire talks. And as he was calling for lasting Israeli control over the Philadelphia corridor, which one of the articles suggested the militants plan to use to smuggle the hostages out of Gaza. Critics have long accused Netanyahu of prolonging the war for political gain.
Voters in the United States cast ballots on Tuesday to choose their next president. Political polls show candidates Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are in a very, very close race.
Kamala Harris spent the last days of her campaign in the swing state of Michigan, meeting with voters at a Detroit chicken and waffle restaurant and speaking at a local church, where she said voters in her Democratic Party, commonly associated with the color blue, are being joined by voters from the Republican Party who who are associated with red.
I see a nation determined to turn the page on hatred and division and chart a new way forward. As I travel, I see Americans from so-called red states to so-called blue states who are ready to bend the arc of history toward justice.
Donald Trump campaigned in the swing state of North Carolina, where he told supporters he's confident of an Election Day win.
We have a big, a beautiful lead. All we have to do, Mike, all we have to do is go out on Tuesday and vote, vote, vote.
Trump told supporters that their opponents are already trying to steal this election.
They cheat on elections, and you call them on it, and they want to put you in jail. Think about it. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen, but I love it. You know why? Because we've proven something, we've shown something, and we're going to get it fixed, and we got to win this election.
At that rally, Trump again suggested violence against political opponents, this time the media. Harris says this election is about more than partisan politics, and those who she says, quote, seek to deepen divisions, sow hate, spread fear, and cause chaos.
And I pledge to listen to people who disagree with me. Because, you see, I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. In fact, I'll give them a seat at the table because that's what strong leaders do.
More than 75 million Americans have already voted in this election. That's nearly half the total who voted 4 years ago. Public opinion polls show a close race, with the closing New York Times Siena College survey showing voters equally split at 48% for both Trump and Harris.
Have you ever wondered why America's presidential elections always fall on a Tuesday? The tradition stretches back almost 200 years to a time when the U.S. looked very different from how it does today.
In the late 1700s and early 1800s, U.S. states could hold presidential votes during a 34-day period, which turned out to be quite problematic. Policymakers soon realized that states that held voting early in the 34-day period could sway public opinion and influence the outcome of the vote in the states that held their federal elections later. Their solution was to unify the nation's election process by selecting a specific day when everybody votes. In 1845, Congress passed a law designating the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November as Election Day, a date that remains in place today. But what brought Congress to this conclusion? Much of America was farmland in the 19th century, and life revolved around strict routines of planting, harvesting, and selling crops. Wednesdays, commonly seen as market days for farmers, were quickly ruled out. Sundays were reserved for going to church, so that wasn't a good option either. Because many people lived far away from polling stations, Congress also wanted to give voters time to travel to voting booths. Tuesday became the obvious contender, allowing enough time to travel after church without affecting the main business day. Farmers also influenced the choice of election month, as spring and summer traditionally mark planting season, while late summer and early fall were filled with harvests. So, it made sense to hold elections in November, when harvests were usually finished, but the coldest weather had yet to arrive. Nowadays, most countries around the world hold elections on Sundays, but America remains committed to its Election Day tradition. Some have called for making it easier for the modern-day American workforce, which typically works Monday through Friday, to vote, including making Election Day a federal holiday. Even though farming and ranch families now make up only 2% of the American population, the tradition of holding U.S. elections on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November has stood the test of time.
For our sports news, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Sports Council, Darius Lomo, says 2024 is so far claiming to be a very positive year, and that is in terms of gaining international medals, which is right in line with the Sports Council's mission, which is to sponsor as well as to support associations who are podium finishers. Lomo speaking to Eswatini TV Sports in Babani.
Very great year. Excited in terms of fulfillment of our mandate. Utaunaka would see what is key in terms of sports performance and what we are driving is that the athletes that we sent out to represent the country, they make the nation proud, very, very, very proud. And they've done exactly that, quite a number of them. We've had successes in darts. The Darts Association hosted a very successful Region 5 championships where the darts team of the youth got a gold medal there. We've done well in chess, in martial arts, and a lot of other sporting courses that have done well. And we are seeing growth in the performance of one of our marathon runners, Nhlabathi, and yeah, we are very excited as an organization.
And that's it for our English news. We'll go for our weather focus update now, and then we'll return shortly with an interview segment.
kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi
aba-researche bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusemndeni.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. You can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any Nedbank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Asimze sinemukele sakuvusela nawo losanza kuzivulela ehleleni Kusile Breakfast Show. Sifo sashukela nesifo hypertension difokeletile ingoti kakhulu lapha eveni. Kodwa nje isive samaswati lesilinganiselwa eminyakeni lesuka ku-15 iye ku-69 banesifo se-hypertension and almost 1/5 live with diabetes. Kule nyanga emave emhlaba lofaka live leSwatini atawusebenzisa inyanga yelweti kwanzisa lwati ngesifo sashukela diabetes awareness month. NCT coordinator itiko letempilo Vusi Shabangu unathi namhla ekseni futhi usivetela nje sithombe sesimo sesifo sashukela lapha eveni lokufaka ekhathi abantu labaphila naso ukulashwa kwabo bungoti lobuta naso usifo sashukela. Inhlangano yakamhlaba yetempilo WHO yaveta ukuthi ngeminyaka wa-2019 emhlabeni wonke jikelele abamfu labaseshiya emhlabeni balinganiselwa ku-2 million. Sifuna kuvothi ngabe lapha ekhaya eSwatini inombolo dithini. Shabangu sekuvusela namhla ekseni siyabonga ukuthi benathi nasikhuluma nje ngesifo sashukela njengoba WHO saveta ukuthi vele siyingodi kakhulu leSwatini kuna type 1 na type 2 nangiva kahle ngi-type 2 kakhulu lo ingodi kakhulu lovamile la eSwatini. Siyini vele lesifo lesi siyingodi kanganani simfikela kanjani umvu?
Siyabonga kakhulu Lungelele lesifo lesi siyingodi kakhulu emhlabeni wonke nje kufaka ikhathi livela kangwane ngako na uhulumende waseSwatini itiko letempilo selithathe vele indzaba yashukela la ibeka embili ngalesimo lesikhona na ubuka tifo letikhona na ubuka emitholampilo sibonile kusuka eminyakeni wa lemuva kubo 2015 kutayembili nje kuthi bantu babe banengi labeta emtholampilo badzinga lusito mayelana nale tifo leti kakhulu sifo sashukela. So uyabona ukuthi lokwanza kwalabantu kusho kona ukuthi kukhona lokhona letimbangela ke ukuthi sifike la kwethi vele kunale sifo sashukela ikakhulu ngilendlela lesiphila ngayo our lifestyle lokuthi sidla kanjani sinaso isikhathi lesanele sekushumisa umtimba yini sisenza kanganani tshwala lugwayi letinto leti ngiplethambe embili vele ukuthi tipepetele noma ke kwakheka kwalesifo sashukela ngiko nje sitawubona tinombolo vele tenyuka kakhulu ngesivinini lesikhulu kakhulu.
Usenza indzaba ye lifestyle usenza indzaba yekunyuka kwetinombolo ngabe nje nasibuka vele kadzeni compared to now nasibuka nje nekudla lesidlako kulamalanga usenza indzaba yetshwala kudla lesidlako ingabe lesifo sesivame kanganani nyalo vele compared to kadzeni ngibekeze boma 90s boma early 2000s.
Lesifo sibonakala sivama nyalo itolo bekuphose kwade ukuthi ngazuthi isifo nje sebantu abadzala sifo sashukela nyalo sibonakala konke umuntu ngiko sesize safika la khona sathi kuyabonakala ukuthi na ufika eminyakeni lengamashumi lamane isikhathi lesiningi vele uthola ukuthi le tifo leti setiyavela leti ngathathelwana kufaka ikhathi lesifo sashukela yebona laba ngephasi kwaleminyaka leyo siyabathola banato letifo na ubuka nyalo nesisindo semtimba ngenxa indlela lesidla ngayo nelihlobo lokudla lesidlako lokuprocessiwe lesithi ma fast foods nalokufaka ke leliseko lelinikete amandla lelinenge uthola ukuthi ngisho bantwana labancane uyetikolweni sisindo sabo semtimba sesingilesikhulu ngalokwecile lekubabeka ke ngodini ukuthi babe nalesifo lesashukela babe semathubeni nesifo sashukela na ubuka ukuthi vele letinombolo tiyenyuka lokuthi nje nesisindo lesikhulu ngalokwecile usemathubeni ekuthishukela ungaba naye noma nini. So uyabona ukuthi konke kubangwa ukuthi sidlane siphila kanjani isikhathi sekushumisa umtimba sinaso yini bese kuba kunengele tinatho vele lesitinathako nato letinashukela letinyeke lesetithungekile lotshwala lesikhuluma ngawo nalelo gwayike leselanze kakhulu lelita ngetinhlobo letehlukene banifana etikolweni balisebenzisa bacabanga ukuthi ababhemi kunabo vape kunabo habli konke lokho lugwayi lelibhebhetela losivele letifo leti attackeke kufaka ekhathi lesifo sashukela.
So kubuta nje Shabangu ukuthi ngidibona ngani ke ukuthi noma mhlambe yini letawusolise kwathi kwangathi nginesifo sashukela kumbe ngiyafama kakhulu ebusuku ngoma kakhulu ngiluzi weight kuba yini vele mhlambe letimpawu leti sheshe tibonakala ukuthi hayi khona lokungahambi kahle emtimbeni.
Ubala kona Lungelele kukhona letimpawu leti tawuvela letithi vele sukuma disole wena cala ungakasolwa abantu sukume uyotihlola kona sikhutsata ukuthi umuntu akatihlola ngaboni timpawu usukele nje ukuthi sengiyohlola njengoba sekutawuphela umnyaka nje uthi asengiyohlola noma enyalo kuyinyanga ya November lesithi vele inyanga yekubuka kakhulu kwanzisa lwati ngesifo sashukela abantu basukume bahlole kukhona ukuthi udawomele mandi futhi noma wanatha lamandi ungakholwa kungafiki la kugcineni kwethu ukholwa dawunathela lamandi futhi kanti womela futhi kube nalokulambela futhi ukuthi kubite udle kanengi kanti nasemtimbeni phela umuntu lobonakala ehla kusesenjalo nalokugcinwa ke kwekuthuthinelwa futhi ungasebenzi lutho but udiva utsiniwe ngendlela lesimanga sekukhona ke lesitawuthi ngilokugula lokuncane kancane sekunemathumba emakhwapheni lama infections la khona angakhomba lokuthi ngendeka khona sifo sashukela sikhumbule phela ukuthi sinemlaleli nembukeli la sikhona khona nakunesifo sashukela lamasotsha emtimba ayehla njengangale ku HIV ayehla lamasotsha emtimba so tifo ke setikhona kuchakela naleti lesithi ma infections setiyachakela lamtimbeni sekutaba kunenge lokugula kakhudlwana.
Yeah, so nasibuka nje population yesive samaswati silinganiselwa kubo ma 1.2 million ingabe kulabo nje I think ushithi inzabe ukuthi nebamfana nabo sekuyatfolakala lokuthi vele baba naso sifo katheni bekade kwasisifo sabamhlabadzala ingabe bangaki vele bamfula balashelwa sifo sashukela lapha eveni.
Kule live nasibuka nje kulabantu lesithi adult population bantu abadzala balinganiselwa ku 14.2 bantu sebaphila nalesifo sashukela la event laseSwatini lokusho ukuthi nawubuka esikhatsini esiningi kubantu abangu-10 munye noma babili banaso lesifo sashukela noma ungabala nje abantu labangu-10 uthi 1 2 3 ofika ku10 yathola ukuthi munye noma babili banaso lesifo sashukela ngiko ke sicucutela lokuthi vele asukume wonke umuntu atihlole abe naso lesikhathi sekutihlola atokhona lokuthi atibone ukuthi ukuphi ukusiphi isimo atosheshe phela athole lisito ngaze kwendeke nakulesithi umonakalo lo wayicile ema complications.
Ingabe nasibuka bamhla basishiya ke emhlabeni I think ushithi inzabe ukuthi vele nawo nalo shukela bese sekubanga ukuthi uthole letinye tifo elifakhathi wona dona tifo 13 so ingabe lizinga lebamhla basishiya ke emhlabeni lime kanjani lona?
Kusishiya kwabantu emhlabeni ngenxa yalesifo sashukela nasibuka nje kusukela kubo 2017 sayithola report ukuthi ngeminyaka 4 million webantu bayafa emhlabeni wonke jikelele babulawe nje ngilesifo sashukela siyabuka ke ukuthi nasibuya la event la kaNgwane uthola ukuthi kulapha sihlanu bantu munye wabo uyafa abulawe isifo sashukela so ubona ukuthi kuko konke kufa lokukhona uthola ukuthi ishukela usifakile sandla ndlela thide ngidawubekisa ngesikhathi seCovid ncumbi yebantu ngesikhathi seCovid bothola ukuthi uyitholile iCovid utholakala nesifo seCovid but kufa kwakhe kubangwa ukuthi vele kunalesifo lesingathathelwana shukela ke bekasekhathi nakulesikhathi leso bekungasimvama kutholakala komuntu abulawe iCovid edele tifo letingathathelwana ikakhulu shukela so uyabona ukuthi uthi noma angakafiki ukuthi singathi nangishukela ukubulele but lamathuba ekuthi ungahamba lula emhlabeni abamaningi kakhulu ngenxa yalesifo sashukela.
Yeah, sale singena kiwe vele ama complications lokuthi sekunashukela vele mhlambe angimtreat kahle angitinaki kahle ne lifestyle yamsolwa ngishintshe ne medication ngihle nginatha ngihle ngayinathi athini vele ama complications?
Ma complications kulesifo sashukela maningi kakhulu ngeke sikhutsata ukuthi bantu abasukume basheshe batihlole sendela lokuthi ungahlali ahambe eshukela alimade into letiningi soluhlelo ngoba kuhlala kwakho ungawuhloli lo shukela akusho ukuthi uyema nawo ngithi usengakangiboni ukuthi sengikhona ngingishukela uhleli ungawuhloli shukela uyachubeka ulimade into letiningi kuphakama kwashukela engadini ube ngetulu kwelizinga lelifanele uyatilimata titho letithide temtimba kufaka ekhathi lesitho setinso tiyalimala tinso ngenxa yashukela lohlala phakeme nakuthinzeka tinso kunebudlelwane lobukhulu emkhathisini wetinso nenhlitiyo kwathinzeka tinso noma kanjani iBP awuphakama nakuthinzeke tinso ingade emtimbeni ayisakheki ngelinani lelifanele sinakungakheki ingadi ngelinani lelifanele emtimbeni so ungena lo muntu la esigabeni la sithi soba anemic unengadi leshoda kuba khanza abantu sebadla umhlaba labanye badla tinto lesitawuthi tin non nutritive so uthanza nje kukhuma umlotha leto tinto leto ubhashe ama ice cubes uthola ukuthi lo muntu lona isikhathi lesinenge ngendeka kube uanemic ayakheki kahle ingadi na uthi uyaphenya ukuthi ibangela into uthola ukuthi itinso dakhe engcenye setitsinzekile ndlela tsite noma ke sekunabo cancer nasebachakela so lo monakalo lo wecile uyakanekisa ungathi le T40 mema letinye wamiyekela shukela tawutsinzeka tinso kwatsinzeka tinso tsinzeka inhlitiyo sekune BP kanjalo kanje nasekune BP ngendeka ushaye stroke uyabona ukuthi lichunge la letinto ngikho isikhathi esiningi nakubanje uthi kunashukela ngendeka masinyanye sekubanja kwekuthi ne BP khona so emehlo ayalimala emehlo ke ayavama kuhlanganyelwa ngishukela ne BP esikhathini esiningi ngoba nje sithi emehlo nawo asengodini kwekuthi phela angagcine asaphadamiseka ngenxa yesifo sashukela ngenxa yashukela lo phakeme wabasezingeni delingedulu kwalelifanele ma complications lawo ngendeka sokugcine sonesilonza lesingapholi ngekuba nalesilonza lesikhombisa kwekuthi asithembisi kuphola sekufuna ukuthi uyojujwa kujujwe mhlambe lo mlente sivele njani isilonza ngenxa ikulimala kwalemizwa kwemithambo leyisa mhlambe ingadi le etinyaweni nale miva the neurons lokuthi ukhone kuva buhlungu ngendeka ugcina ulimala ungabona lokuthi sowulimele kube nalesilonza sikhathi lesithe
nje ukuhlaba lemshaba konke lokho kwenta uma ngabe ungayithathi kahle medication nale lifestyle ungayishintsha noma kuyendeka njalo ukuthi vele unayo lo shukela
lokuthi nje imithi yashukela ngiyithathi ngendlela kungangendela ukuthi lo shukela vele ube sezingeni leliphakeme lisedumi nalokuthi ke lempilo yami angikayishintshi ngoba noma ungawathatha emaphilisi imithi yakho yonke kahle kepha na ungaguqula empilo lokuthi ushintshe indlela lodla ngayo ugweme kungashukumisa umtimba ugweme etshwala neligwayi vele kufana nekuthi emaphilisi awalekeleli noma ungawathatha kahle kanganani lo monakalo ngendeka ube khona lo wecile so sikhuthata ukuthi umuntu akathathe kahle imithi achinje nendlela yokuphila sitovikela lama complications lo monakalo lo siwecile
yeah bosachaza vele indzaba yekujujwa ngokomlendo ukuthi kusuke kubangwa yini lokho
lokho ukuthi lo muntu kunale mizwa yakhe lemithambo lethathela mhlambe ebhlungu lokuthi ukhona kubuva ebhlungu naletnyaweni lokuthi seyilimele sekwendeke kwaba mzimzima ngendeka noma nasekukhona lokukuhlabile enyaweni noma ulimele uthola ukuthi nebhlungu awubuva lo mnyanga azatshelwe ngilabanye ukuthi yathi ngathi uphuma ingadi la nyaweni ngikhatha bona ukuthi ulimele lokuthi ke ingadi ayisakhona kuya kahle lenzaweni la ulimele khona inimikise tithako phela ukuthi isilonza singakhona ukuthi iphodisa ngoba umtimba uyakhona ukupholela wona but ngalokuthikamedeka kwekuthi kunashukela lophakeme lomnengi ulimata lemizwa kanjalo futhi usalimete lomizwa lo shukela landzaweni lenesilonza awusi into lekahle awusidi lesilonza ukuthi siphole utawuthola ke ukuthi lapho sekubita kwekuthi ke lo mlo agcine ajujiwe kulesinye isikhathi ngekuthi lokuqhubeka kwalesilonza akulawuleke sengendeka kubita ukuthi ajuje so vele sokhubatekile ngalondlela kujujwa ke indlela thithi mhlawumbe ujujiwe umlende nasengcondweni ngendeka ukuthinze lokuthi nje sengiphila ngide umlende konke lokho kuphathamiseke engcondweni kungilokunye lokungaba i-complication noma umonakalo lisowecile sekusifo lesingathathelwana indlela thide kubese nje kuba lichungechunge
so ba ne-depression so sekubhedeka nabo mental health sokucabanga kaningi
lokuthi nje emehlo amakasabona angisaboni ngidzinga umlota ngisida ngihamba ngiyaphumbutha kungakhathata emoyeni ube nesifo sekukhathateka engcondweni kona lokho so uyabona ukuthi kugcina kulichungechunge so ugcine mhlambe uhambe la ufika khona ukuthi noma bangede bakutshela la khalo ukuthi songumthwalo vele songiwo sekulahlekene emsebenzi angisakhona ukusebenza ngenxa yalokuthi kamedeka kwemtimba emehlweni mhlambe nekujujwa kwemlende tonke lento leto sethi sibeka vele esimeni lesibucayi empilweni
yeah njengoba uchaza nje babashabani lokuthi vele bese sekubangela ukuthi uthole letinye itifo necancer nayo ingodi kakhulu ngabe ungatithola nesamathube noma mhlawumbe ku-expose kanganani ukuthi ikhanza sone cancer sifo samdlavuza ngokuthi awunathi kahle treatment awushintshe kahle isimo sakho sempilo
Konke lokho nawukhuluma nje ngecancer sifo samdlavuza naso siyame la ukuthi uthola ukuthi kungendeka kube kunakulendlela lesiphila ngayo ayisile kahle asidli kudla lokukahle singatakhele emathuba ecancer lapho kusebenzisa tshwala neligwayi nalokhu ngawushukumisi nje umtimba masibeka engodini ekuthi kusasa sitikhanze sekwakhele ngocancer kani lo shukela vele lokuthi nje uhlale usetulo mdlavuza uyayitsanza lendzawo lena shukela lomnengi lehlala nje inashukela lophekeme so kuyasibeka emathubeni sibonile nakubo HIV abe makhona lamathuba ikusilamanye ama cancer avele akube lula lokuchakela kwawo so ngikho sikhutsata ukuthi asihlole singakeva lutho sithi mhlambe seyutholakele ishukela sikhuthalele kwenta konke lesitshelo kona emtholampilo sitokuvikela lo monakalo loecile noma ke kukanekisa kwaletinye tifo lebetingekho simane silwe nalo shukela ayethwana ngoba letifo nasetibuthene ndzawonye bese kuba likhuni kulwa nato kanike lo monakalo loecile ama complications adula kakhulu nalokuthi phela sikhone kwakhalima uthola ukuthi lokunye vele akusajikiseki emehlo asalimele siyathi ukuthi mhlambe esikhatsini esiningi sinako enombolweni lokuthi usaphila nashukela noma uyithatha kahle nale mithi yakho ngenxa yokuhamba kweminyaka njengokuthi mhlambe ngetulu kwa 20 years solo uphila nashukela uyithatha imithi yakho vele emehlo ahamba aqhunzeke lokho ngeke sisichinje thini kukhona nje lokuthi ngiyithatha kahle imithi yami ngiphila nashukela kungendeka lokuthi emva kwabo 20 eminyaka ngisaphila nalo shukela bese emehlo vele abanako lokuphadamiseka kancane kwekuthi izinga lami lekubona selehla ehlile ngikho sikhutsata naloko ukuthi wonke lophila nashukela kufanele ukuthi ahlolwe lamehlo tibukwe netinyawo noma afikile emtholampilo akhunyuliswe ecathulo kubukwe etinyawo tonke lento ukuthi mhlambe kude yini lokumhlabile dona lecathulo lagcokako tilungele yini ngoba letinye ukhanza setende emakona lenza ulecinzetelekile latinyaweni ngiyo lengagcine iveta silonza kusasa lesilonza leso sibe silonza sashukela lese singapholi lesiyaholela lo muntu ukuthi agcina yojujwa kusasa ngiko sikhutsata ukuthi icathulo logcokile adibe ngileti kahle leti kulinganako ngesize yakho futhi tibe ngileti tawukhona ukuthi phela nalomoya tiushayishayise nalamasokisi angakubambi athi agcine amisa lengadi bese kuba nendzawo letakoma la etinyaweni yende emakona letakugcina kusasa yenda silonza ndlela tsite
kuningi impela uthi nzenza ba HIV babashaba ngabe for ema HIV positive bamlaba HIV positive bona ngabe basengodini enganani ngokuthi bathole shukela unatha kahle medication yakho utiphatha kahle lifestyle kahle but usengodini enganani ukuthi bese sotikhanza sona shukela
lucwaningo lwendiwo mhlambe evenda bomakhelwane likela veta lokho ukuthi phela kubantu labang10 laba thathe amaphilisi ekuthinzibalisa igciwane leHIV ngendeka ukuthi nabafika eminyakeni lengamashumi lasihlanu ngendeka kulala bang10 munye wabo atholala utsifo sashukela sonaso endlela thide kungaba ke kunyendana kwethi mhlambe lendlela lokuthi sesiphila nje isikhathi lesithe ngoba emaphilisi phela ayasida ukuthi siphile impilo lenze siphila isikhathi lesithe imtimba yethu yendana kulesithi kuguga siyakhula letinye tinto la mtimbeni tiyatsina ngendeka ukuthi kufike vele lesigaba la khona sitikhanze kwethi sesiba nayo lo shukela mhlambe ngenangendlela lesidla ngayo lo mnyuta sinangisebenzisa lamaphilisi lawa angilambisa ngidle kakhulu nalokulasa kudla kakhulu uthola ukuthi akusasilo kudla lokusezingeni letempilo so uyadla nje udlela kugcwalisa sisu udla naku lokusithi stout leliseko lelinikete amandla libe linengi kakhulu ngobulwela kwesutha sekuyawumbeka ke le esigabeni sashukela ndlela thide ngoba sindo semtimba vele sitawuba sikhulu ngaleyo ndlela ngiko siyale emuva sithi asivale leligede ukuthi yebo kuyangilambisa lo kepha angibuke lokuthi ngidla kudla lokusezingeni letempilo yini ngingafaki noma ngabe yini emlonyeni ngoba kusasa itawenda lempilo ingidulele ngendeka kungacollective ndlela thini
siyaniva nje nithi nicicutela sive ukuthi sivele imitholampilo sivele etibhedlela sohlola simo sawo so sempilo ngabe yona vele le access to lama services lawa avule kanganani ngibutela nje mhlambe labasemakhaya etibhedlela tikhashane ngabe le access to lama services laba bamlabana shukela amalula kanganani nje lapha eveni kakhulu kade emakhaya
amalula sisi nangasho siye siphume kwananathi singabukela imitholampilo kuphela siyathi ukuthi lamanye emakhaya athe kubabucala nemitholampilo akuhambeki funa bacancenisaba vele umuntu lomnye kuyamvilaphisa so siyaphuma ke silitiko sibe nako ukuthi siyoganekisa emangweni la sitawuhlola abantu khona bo BP naboshukela futhi sikwende kube mahala lokho umuntu nje kwekuthi atsinakeva leso simemetelo aphume edela sikhona khona afike apopole adade inombolo takhe adi nashukela wakhe ukuthi kuphi nangabatholakala sikhone futhi kumchumanisa nalata uthola ke lisito khona phela anakekele ngoba siyakhumbula ukuthi nasimtholile shukela asimlaphi aphele ngcono nokubita kwekuthi ulandzelelwe uthatha imithi yakho utshintshe nalendlela lophila ngayo la ngephande nje ngekusitwa dininte live iTaiwan siyahamba la madolobheni thola ukuthi sibekile emathende ethu lamancane sihlola abantu la kubomall etinzaweni letiningi nalemimangweni siyafika so lozama lokho ukuthi vele umuntu lusito asilisonzede kuye lelisito libedude ikakhulu lelisito lekuthi hlola nje noma ngabe ke uyalashelwa lo mlo shukela esikhuthatha ukuthi asonzele lapho lokuthi nje sitokuhlola lo shukela uyawathatha emaphilisi noma uyajova lokusonzela ngoba labanye bedele machine ekutihlola emakhaya siyakhuthatha ukuthi abasonzele sibahlole sitokhona kwelulekana ngendlela lefanele
ngiyakho sengasemaphethelweni nje babeshabanga vele kugcizelela nje indzaba yekuhlola tinombolo takho nokuva nje ukuthi vele ngabe losola ngasihlole simo sakhe sempilo ikakhulukazi tinombolo sengidini enganani ezachubeka shukela anza emhlembeni
sisiyakhuthata lungelele lokuthi wonke umuntu akasukume ayohlola ahlole inombolo futhi adade letinombolo ukuthi inombolo nakhulunywa ngashukela wami uthini nangingakadli uthini nangidlile noma ngabe ke uyalashelwa wona mhlole wathi ukuthi uyakuthola yini lokusitakala kule mithi lo ithathako kumcoka kakhulu lokho lokwati inombolo ukusita lokuthi nje ukhone kwathi ukuthi yini lekufanele uyichinje nasempilweni ngenxa yaleti nombolo takho kufana nemoto lungelele ngeke uhambe ngemoto ungadibuki inombolo konke lokusemotweni kusebenza ke inombolo nathi ke nasifuna kuphila sikhathi lesithe funa wathi inombolo takho ngimkhulu kanganani emtimbeni ngimutse kanganani lokho kuyakusita ukuthi sisindvo sami singanani loshukela wami kanani iBP yami ishayela kuphi dithi inombolo tonke letinto leto timqoka empilweni lokuthi umdzala kanganani lungelelo kumcoka inombolo leyo yo age ya ngoba sikhuluma ukuthi age 40 la ngendeka letifo letingathathelwana tikanekise lapho so wathi lo mnyaka wakho kumqoka kumcoka kuyakusita lokuthi phela mina sengilaki nakusimo nasi tonke lento wathi ngisho isize yakho ecathulo lungelelo kumcoka know your numbers kunebantu abangadi isize yabecathulo know your numbers ungatogcoka ecathulo lesitakuhambisa ubayitela uyabona setende emakona setitakubangela tilonza letsite lapha etinyaweni encenye sokhona shukela isilonza sisaphola know your numbers yate masize akho yathi kusindo takho chayela kuphi kumcoka kakhulu lokho kukwenda kusilempilo yakho uyinakelele lula nalo sibese kuba intolo yenta njalo ngeminyaka nobe nga uyawathatha ke lamaphilisi noma imithi yashukela phela vele esibhedlela sitobuka netingadi ukuthi tinso takho tisebentela kusiphi isigaba kude nikuphatamise kalokho know your numbers is very much important lokho kukwenda ukuthi uhlale ukhululekile nalokubala nje lamaphilisi akho ukuthi asasele mangaki atangifikisa lapha encenye nginelihambo know your numbers date inombolo takho konke mayelana nempilo yakho udoba kahle
kahle uthi vele impilo yefasi ikhuthalele sathi tonke inombolo takho
kunjalo isenombolweni impilo
alright sisiwakhulu umukeli bekungu NCT coordinator itikule tempilo loyo Vusi Shabanga asivetela nje sithombe esesimo sesifo sashukela lapha eveni aveteke ukuthi vele population lelingasela ku 14.2% they are living with diabetes yakhuthatha ukuthi sive samaswati yasemitholampilo etibhedlela siyohlola simo saso sempilo seselkhevu stabe sopesahlelo.
Hey you! Yes, you. Have you paid your TV license?
Did you know that by paying for your TV license fees, you will be complying with the laws that govern television possession, in particular the Swaziland Television Authority Act of 1983 and its regulations? It is a legal obligation.
Paying for your TV license can have a positive spin-off, as the money collected from TV license fees goes a long way in assisting Eswatini Television Authority procure appealing and relevant content to broadcast on the channel.
So now, these fees also increase purchasing of local content from independent producers, which helps ensure that the arts and film industry in the country is well supported thus far, ensures the creation of jobs for Eswatini. The payment of TV license fees goes a really long way in such endeavors as well as nation building.
A TV license costs 180 emalangeni per year per device, and for other accessories such as a decoder or njinja, it costs 50 emalangeni per device per year.
By paying for your TV license,
you will be doing the right thing.
Kusele umzuzu munye kuthishaya insimbi esiphohlongo lomhla ekuseni sesifike maphetheleni ihlelo lakho lolithanda kakhulu Kusile Breakfast Show kepha konkhathateki usengakhona ukulibukela futhi sikhona ku YouTube Eswatini TV ngale kwaloko it's a Tuesday morning quite cold lomhla ekuseni lapha eMbabane ama temperatures nje tawufika ku 26 degrees sesema kuthini phephile ne warm lapho khona we'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day.